high school football. So, on behalf of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the Board of Directors of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Luncheon Club, I hereby call to order the 6th meeting of the 60th year of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Luncheon Club. Our invocation today, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, will be given by Reverend Don Ackerman of Crossroads United Methodist. Reverend Don.
Would you pray with me? Our loving God, we come into this place and we thank you for the food and all the staff that helped us to enjoy this place. We also ask your special blessing on the speakers today, that we might be edified by them. And we thank you for the civic and school leaders here. We ask for your blessing on them and all the students that they touch. Be with us here in this moment, and in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And our beloved guardians are still in it. I'd like to introduce special guests that are many today. First of all, our club's secretary, Jim Lindensmith, next to Reverend Don. Canton Mayor, Tom Burnaby. Canton City, going in order here. Already introduced, but great big round for Coach Antonio Hall of the football. And next to him, Superintendent of Kansas City Schools, Jeff Talbert. And to Jeff's right is McKinley AD, Mike Schott. On my left-hand side, your right, Mayor Kathy Catazero Perry. Head coach of the Tigers, Nate Moore. Nate's wife, Becca Moore. Superintendent of Massillon City Schools, Paul Salvino. Also among us today, out and about to the sides here, and I'd like you to throw your hands up to be recognized. Next up is Scott Davis and his crew from Kansas City Schools TV. Scott. Our media specialist covering today from Stark Media, Sam Berkman over in the corner here. And in front of me, TJ Downing. Also in the audience, I'm told, special guest today, J.R. Rinaldi, president of the Kansas City Schools School Board. And two representatives today from our paper in Canton Repository, and that would be Peter Holland Jr. Where's Peter? And Steve Dorset. Our corporate recognition today for our corporate sponsors on the board, well, usually on the board. I guess they've been usurped today. Aultcare's Primetime Health, Dr. Peter Ferguson, Wilkshire Golf Course, and Liberty Ford. We thank them for their corporate support. Announcements. We will start with silence the cell phones, please, or more importantly, probably and preferred, turn those completely off, please, in all fairness to our speakers and the time that we have today. Our second announcement concerns, if you are a new member this season, see our club treasurer, Tim Richard. Tim, raise your hand right there. Got a red vest on today, and that is in case you are interested in having a club license plate frame holder. Okay? Also, RJ Van Allman tells me, if you're a member and not getting the club's weekly newsletter, he apologizes, we apologize, but please see RJ, as he has about 20 that are bouncing back to him each week because they were illegible for him to type in properly to the computer. So the only way he's gonna know is if you say something to him. He couldn't read it, so you couldn't get it, okay? But he's got about 20, so if you have been looking for yours and go, well, I know I signed up for it, it's because we couldn't read your handwriting, okay? So see RJ. RJ, where are you? Right here, okay? And lastly, club t-shirts. We have 6 shirts. They're long sleeve polos with our club logo embroidered on them. We have 6 of those left, 1 XXX, 3 extra large, 1 large, and 1 small. And those are $35 a piece for the long sleeve. And then there's only a single large short sleeve, and it's $20. Okay? I'm happy to announce that we have no illness or death to report of club members today. And next up is our raffle tickets. So get out your tickets, and we'll have Mayor Kathy select the women. Okay, one, please. She's digging deep. All right. Winning ticket. Winning ticket is 605-783, and it's for $194 today. And trustee Jim Osborne. Wow. Our club treasurer, Mr. Osborne, please check that ticket carefully. Again, the last 3 digits were 783. 783. Is that what he has there? All right. Wow. Okay. In case you didn't know, our club treasurer won today. How about that? Okay. Next week, our speaker will be Jamie Beckler. He's a former high school and college basketball coach and author of several books. We look forward to seeing him. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the honorable mayors of our respective cities, Kathy Catazero Perry and Tom Burnaby. Ladies and gents.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's my job to rile this crowd up. So are you ready for some football? Yeah! Come on, you guys. Are you ready for some football?
Absolutely.
That's much better. But good afternoon. It's great to be back here at the luncheon. RJ, thank you for inviting me, and Mayor Burnaby. This is a day that we kick off the greatest rivalry in high school football. And this is, I want to tell you, I said it on the radio this morning, one of my favorite events this week. And it's because of all of you. You all just make me smile. I love your enthusiasm. I love that you come in and you're rooting for your team. This is one of my favorite events. And one of the reasons why is you all know why this game is so important. You know that there's history, there's tradition, and the winning team takes home the bell, and they get to share that bell with their community. And that's the pride that we have in Massillon and in Canton. So with saying that, I want to get my side round up. Let me hear you. T-I-G.
DRS.
T-I-G.
DRS.
T-I-G.
DRS.
Way to go. And I will yield to Mayor Burnaby.
Good job.
Kathy. Such an easy mark. First of all, good afternoon to everyone. It is my honor to be here today at the Professional Football Hall of Fame Luncheon Club. And it is my honor to join Kathy, Mayor Kathy, and the administration, coaches, wives, from both schools to this wonderful, wonderful event leading up to the game. This is the first event of the week, and we have a number of events to follow. And as is the case every year, and I think we all remember it, Mayor Kathy walks in and starts firing up the Massillon crowd with that TIGERS. And we Bulldog fans all know why. That's because they can't spell Even if I sold them 2 vowels, they couldn't spell. Go Pups, PUPS. It will be my honor in a moment to introduce Coach Hall. Last year, I introduced him as interim coach of the Bulldogs. He took over the program late last year, led the team to an 8-5 record with 2 wins in the playoffs. Unfortunately, we lost to Massillon, and this is a confession. Unfortunately, very unfortunately, my record as mayor in the big game is 0-6. And I am very disheartened by that. Disheartened, but in no way am I giving up or are we giving up. And in fact, this year will be different. And here are the reasons why. First, Coach Hall is no longer the interim coach. He has played the game and he has now coached the game. He was appointed head coach last December, and after a very slow start this season, 0-4, he has led this Bulldogs team that we're taking to Massillon this week to a 5-game-in-a-row win streak, a great turnaround. They are or will be a co-champion of the Federal League, and in that period of time, they have outscored their opponents 209-84. They are ready, and they got ready by beating Glen Oak last week, 40-7 on the road. That was this past weekend. While McKinley was slugging out a win, what was Massillon doing this past weekend? I don't know. What I do know is that they weren't playing football. No game scheduled last weekend. Secret plans for the McKinley game. Resting up for the McKinley game. I've got my suspicions. I reached out to the Massillon administration in the mayor's office, and as usual, I received the standard no comment. Well, here is a multiple choice question for all of you. Please help me. Why didn't Massillon schedule the game this year the week before the McKinley game? A, choice A, homecoming at Beechwood. B, Uber was on strike in Beechwood and Massillon didn't have enough players. C, no Canadian football teams were available to schedule. D, Bishop Sycamore wasn't available. Or E, all of the above. All joking and bantering aside, this is the 133rd meeting of this greatest rivalry in high school football. The War of '84 to be resumed again this week. It is my honor now to introduce the head coach of the Canton McKinley Bulldogs, as well as the coach of the team to the west of Canton, that is. Some call it and spell it Massillon, others spell it differently. Our coaches for this great rivalry, thank you and give them a large hand.
First off, thank you to the Pro Football Hall of Fame Luncheon Club for allowing me to come and speak about our football program. Thank you to Mayor Kathy Catazero Perry, Massillon City School Superintendent Paul Salvino, and the Massillon Tiger Football Booster Club for their support throughout our season. Most of all, thank you to my beautiful wife, Becca, for all the support, especially during this special week. Our varsity football team is currently 7-1. We have played a rugged schedule with both state and national powers. We took one on the chin in our week 1 matchup against Cincinnati Bowler. But I was pleased with the effort of our kids. We just needed to limit the self-inflicted wounds. We needed to be more disciplined. The Tigers responded by winning the next 3 to bring us to our matchup with undefeated and number 1 ranked St. Edward. In an instant classic, the Tigers forced a late fumble and scored the go-ahead touchdown with less than a minute to go in the game. As good as that one felt, that is not what it means to be a Tiger. Being a Tiger is being able to come back the very next week and do it again. Handle success and failure. I was much more proud of our team for coming back the next 2 weeks and defeating state-ranked and undefeated Austintown Fitch and the number 1 team in the state of Delaware, Middletown. That is being a Tiger. That is walking the warpath. The warpath is tenacious discipline at all costs. In a world today where comfort is king and feelings matter more than facts, the Tigers are a throwback unit built on discipline and toughness. I love the term warrior poet. It is a concept that is all but lost today. People want to put you into one category or another. A+ student is scholar. Football player, meathead. Not us, not the Tigers. We will not be defined by public perception, by the mayor of the city of Canton, or the media, including our own local media. No matter what mud they throw at us. I believe that it's the dichotomy of the term warrior poet that draws me to it. The phrase warrior poet refers to the men of antiquity who were trained both in the art of war and the art of philosophy. It's very similar to the phrase scholar athlete. We have 71 players on our varsity roster. And it is my duty and my charge to develop each one of them into scholar athletes, warrior poets. Our first quarter ended last Friday, and I believe that we will be very close to our program goal of a 3.5 team GPA. When I set that goal, several years ago, I'll be honest, I didn't know if I really even thought that it was attainable. I can say without a doubt that we are within striking distance. As of Saturday, we currently have just 3 Fs and 13 Ds on our entire roster of 71 young men. Warrior poets. Discipline. I have a theory, a strong theory, that grades measure very little about your actual intelligence. What grades actually measure is your self-discipline. Can you do the things that have to be done, when they have to be done, and how they have to be done, even and especially when it's not what you want to do? You cannot be a great student without discipline. You cannot be a great football player without discipline. I've been telling our guys this for 8 years. If you want to be a great team, improve your GPA. And that has played true. Our best teams on the field have also been our best teams in the classroom. And if you don't have the self-discipline to make it happen, then we're going to make that happen for you. And that leads me to my final point. The Blarney Stone. On the hill in the northwest corner of Paul Brown Tiger Stadium sits a stone marker. And on it is a faded, bent metal sign that says Blarney Stone, here to make you a champion. Established 1948. Outdated, old school, but the essence of what this program is built on. In front of that stone leading from the remnants of the stadium track is a well-worn path leading up the hill to the Blarney Stone. I can't take credit for placing the stone where it sits on that hill, but I admire the person who did, because there is no easy path to discipline. Discipline is, in fact, taking the uphill path. And if our boys can't figure that out on their own, then we will teach them. Some of them many, many times. I can't take credit for the stone on the hill, but I can take credit for the war path that lays at its feet. When you come to visit us on Saturday, be sure to walk over to the northwest side of the stadium and check out our war path. It's the path to a 7-1 record. It's the path to a 3.5 team GPA. And it's the path to success decades after the final game of this football season has been played. And that is the goal. Thank you. Go Tigers.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'd like to express my appreciation to the Hall of Fame Luncheon Club for giving me this opportunity. As I stated last year, a lot of you, this place, and a lot of past members are part of my foundation, not only as a coach, a player, but a human being. My grandfather was, I can't even tell you how long he was a member here before his passing. And every Monday we didn't have school from the age 9 till I left for college. He had me here, and guys were putting gold nuggets in me my whole life. Also, this place is special to me because, as you know, this year we were able to complete the Miriam Motley statue project. Miriam Motley, who was a big influence in this room. RJ Van Alman, your board, all of you contributed and was our first major financial contributor to the project. And thank you for that. And now all of your efforts can be on display for a lifetime, for generations, and remembering one of our own, one of our greats, Miriam Motley. So thank you guys for that. Let's talk about some football. Okay. It's been a tale of 2 seasons for us. First half, we had a bit of a rough go at it. But when guys are figuring it out and you're playing good talent, sometimes it takes a while. Timing is a thing that cannot be rushed. Camaraderie is a thing that cannot be rushed. Cohesiveness is a thing that cannot be rushed. But when it happens, it's a beautiful thing. And right around week 4, week 5, we started to get in our groove. And every week, our guys that continue to push that envelope forward. We have a thing in our facility, it's called the standard. And there's 8 things that involve the standard. And I can't share with you what they are because you're not in our program. But if you live by these qualities, if you live by these things, we say that you will have success in every corner of your life, not just football, but in all aspects, academics, personal. And essentially, I know just like Coach Moore, we're worried more about the final product as opposed to the product on the field. And our guys continue to buy into the standard and we continue to win. So it's a testament to their buy-in, it's a testament to their accountability, and we're going to try to keep this thing rolling. Massillon is, watching them on film, this is a very, very, very talented team, a very physical team, a very tough team, and a very well-coached team, as a credit to Coach Moore and his staff. So we have our work cut out for us. But best believe we're working our ass off and we're going to come in there Saturday ready to go. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yes. Red shirt.
First, a comment for both coaches, it's time to bring a state championship back to Stark County.
Fair enough.
And a question for Coach Hall. With a mayor 0-6, is it time to get a new mayor?
No comment.
Yes.
Aspirations to be a college coach, either one of you.
No.
I started as a fan, then a player, assistant coach, athletic director, and now the head coach. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, Coach Moore, first of all, I want to say the jacket looks amazing on you every year. I mean, you just have such incredible fashion sense. So way to go. Now,
Get this guy a seat up front.
It's become one-sided over the last decade. All the games are close, but you guys always find a way to get it done. What separates this week in your mind from all the other weeks?
I think it'd be easier to answer the question, what doesn't separate it? I mean, everything is different. Everything is different. You know, starting with events like this, everywhere we go, it's made very obvious that this is a different week than any other week. So yeah, I think that's the best way I can answer it is everything's different all the time. Including the other weeks, because this is not something that you ever stop thinking about. You know, I'm sure Antonio would agree. You know, it's a great responsibility. You know, sitting in either one of our chairs, and this week is the reason why it's like that. And we respect the hell out of those guys. You know, Massillon's not Massillon without McKinley, and you know, I'm sure vice versa. But it's a heavy burden to bear all the time. And you know, anytime you have a situation like that, you ask for greater strength. You don't ask for lighter burdens. I think we're both happy to be where we're at. No doubt about that. But this week is no doubt in how important this is.
Question for both of you, both coaches. How's the health of all your players? Are you guys physically sound and good health for the big game Saturday?
Well, it's week 10, so it's week 10. You're going to be banged up, but no major injuries for us, just a typical week 10 wear and tear.
Same.
Coach Hawk, at the turning point of the season there, when your team came together, was this a senior lead type movement on the team, or you got a lot of undergrads this year?
It's a great question. I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, we definitely have heavy senior influence, but tremendous young leaders like Keaton Rhodey and Alex Vasquez, and a lot of guys in that junior class stepping up as well. So I think it was a mixture of both. It's an easy crowd this year, Nate. We might be out here from 12:45.
All right, you guys are both former offensive linemen. I think for both of you guys, you've got some new pieces in there from last season. Both of you have had to replace offensive tackles, knowing that it's kind of the key to the game and really could kind of set the tone for the entire game. When you're having messages with your offensive linemen telling them the crowd's going to be different, the energy, the environment, the noise, it's all going to be different. What are some of those messages like, and what do you feel has been the biggest key for your lines getting from the point of week 1 to now when trying to put 5 guys all on the same page?
With offensive line, it all boils down to execution, and a lot of that takes reps. So we've gotten better up front over the course of the season. And that's, the more reps those guys get together, the better level of execution, the more ball they've seen. So now at this point, we've seen just about every stunt that somebody can run against us, whether that's the pass game or the run game. So, but being able to stay healthy, keep those same 5 guys out there is definitely key with that too. Because if you're always, shuffling the deck, it's hard for those guys to get comfortable and get that level of execution. So, that's definitely key for us.
Yeah, to add on what Nate was saying, I mean, continuity is probably the biggest thing in terms of an offensive line unit. And, if you know that guard is coming off, you can just feel it. Or if you know that, that center is chipping, it's a feeling. And the more you can play together, the more you can see together, the better execution you'll have. Like Massillon this year, I mean, they're doing a great job defensively. They're doing a lot of stunts this year. I mean, our guys are going to have to be able to pick all that stuff up. And the more you play together, the more you gel, the more success you'll have.
Coach, what's a couple of keys, both of you chime in, what are a couple of keys you have to accomplish to win Saturday?
Well, whoever ends up winning this game each year usually is the team who can block out all of this stuff, all of this, and just worry about execution, trying to dominate your position, not so much getting caught up in the hoopla per se. And obviously, being the road team, we have to deal with the crowd. We have to deal with everything that goes into traveling to Massillon week 10. But on top of that, I mean, watching them on film, again, this is a very physical, a very well-coached, disciplined team. And so we're going to have to match all 3 of those for us to come out of there with a victory. So that's what it's going to take for us to come out victorious.
What are the mayor's wagering this year?
Still New Jersey. The jersey. So the standing wager is whoever loses, they have to wear the other school's jersey following Monday at work. So trying to blow the dust off that orange one that Mayor has.
That thing is like new.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thank you.